Hello, 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 and happy June 27, 2023. Super excited to be here with you today to share some insight regarding a planetary shift. As of June 26th, Mercury has left Gemini and has entered Cancer. What does that mean for each and every one of you? Well, I am here to share that information with you. Just to start off by saying, when we speak of Mercury's energy, Mercury is about communication, how we connect, how we create, how we listen, how we learn. And when I speak about how we listen and learn, it's about how we listen to spirit, because spirit has so much to teach us. And this is a perfect opportunity for all of us to shift our frequencies and become more connected to spirit, along with others as well. With Mercury being in Cancer, Cancer is associated with the fourth house energy. And what that just means is Cancer is about home. I like to split Cancer up into three sections when it comes to home, and that is your shelter, your workplace, such as your soul's purpose, and of course, your body, that connection you have with your body. Cancer is a feminine energy. It's nurturing. It's a healing time. And it's a connection that you do have with other women, yourself, and of course, your mother. So when we bring that all together, with Mercury being in Cancer, it's going to give you an opportunity to learn to communicate in a different way, learn to listen in a different way, learn to learn in a different way, learn to learn. Yes, I did say that. Learn to learn in a different way. People are going to be teaching you things about yourself, and they're going to teach you things about you, things about yourself, but also teaching you things about them as well. So pay attention to all the people that do come into your journey during this season. Now, a fun note, on July 8th, Mercury is going to go retrograde for the second time this year in Cancer. And that's going to give us some time to review, reflect, reboot, recharge, recycle, and restart the energy of Mercury in Cancer. And it may be a really great time for you to explore your relationships. How do you heal the relationships you have with one another? How do you heal the relationship you have with your inner child? When we speak of Cancer energy, we're going to speak of our inner child, and we're also going to speak of our connection with our mother. So this season is really about healing those deeper wounds known as the Chiron wound. And whatever took place in your childhood, this will be a great time to explore it. You may even experience things showing up for you. Remember, every person that's in your journey with you is teaching you something about yourself. And they may very well trigger some thing that may surface from your inner child, from your younger version of yourself, whether it's your young version from 0 to 7, or maybe from even 7 to 14, 15 to 21, etc., etc. So pay attention during this season. This is definitely a time to learn about yourself. Anytime Mercury goes into a retrograde period, it's time to review and reflect back. It's not necessarily a doing time, but in this particular case, it could very well be a time for you to heal the relationships that you were in. If there's a relationship that you are estranged from, this could be a perfect time to work on that forgiving conversation, forgiving letter, face-to-face conversations, excuse me, however you wish for that to take place. What I would love to do for you today is I would like to give you some insight based on where Mercury is on your chart. So for example, for me, Mercury sits in Aquarius on my chart. Now, I'm not going to get too involved with the houses because that's going to be very different for each and every one of us. But what does it mean, Mercury being in Aquarius for me? Now, you might have Mercury in Aquarius for you as well. And what that really means, being that it's in the energy of the seventh house, as I like it, not the seventh house energy, but it's activating the energy of contracts, healing, nurturing, bringing things into harmony, remembering that Aquarius is about communication. I'm sorry, community, my words today, community, the collective energy, being patient, and also seeing things more in humanity. So that's Mercury in Aquarius. And of course, I'm going to come back to that in a little while to give a card for that as well, because that's what I'm going to do here. I am going to give you a forecast, and I'm going to work on the cards. I'm going to ask each card, what is it that each zodiac sign needs to know based on this Mercury in Cancer, and you'll have that one card to work on. Now, this forecast is a little different than when I work on the sun's energy, because then you have the sun, moon, and rising. This specifically for Mercury, so there's only going to be one card that you'll be working on during this Mercury season, and whatever that sign is for you where Mercury sits. Now, there's some other things you want to pay attention to as well. So, for example, when we think of Mercury, it's associated with the third house. It's associated with Gemini. So you might want to look at your chart, and at the same token, you might also want to take a peek at the card that shows up for Gemini and see how that plays a role for you. What's in your Gemini energy? What's in your third house energy as well? And then when we speak about Cancer, we're looking at the fourth house energy. What's in your fourth house? So pay attention to that too. So what zodiac sign is associated with your fourth house? So you may actually be working with more than one card. There's always that little flip side to things where there's so much more to work on than that just one card. But if you are new to this, my suggestion would be really focus on where the energy is in Mercury and where the energy is in Cancer. So wherever you have a planet, or whatever's in your fourth house energy, focus on that for the healing process. So I'm going to get this started and give you some amazing insight. So here we go. So for Aries, this is about your foundation. This is definitely about being home. This is about your connection that you do have with your body, you have with your female friends, and also your mother. And remember that when we speak about feminine energy, we all have masculine and feminine energy. Play a note, I guess that's a good way of saying it. Play a note that with Mercury being in Cancer right now, it is having a conversation with the sun, because the sun is in Cancer. And there is definitely a conversation going on with Pluto, because Pluto is in its opposition sign. So there's so much going on here. So for you Aries, change is on its way. What is going to change during this season for you? Will it be the way you communicate with yourself? Will it be the way you communicate with somebody else? What are you creating during this time that change is on its way? The chakra to work on is your throat chakra, because there could be something flaring up there that could be causing some symptom to show up for you. Pay attention if there's a symptom. What does that symptom tell you? Now, in FYI, every physical symptom is associated with an emotion. Now, I always like to reflect back, whatever the physical symptom is. I go to Google and I ask Google, what is the metaphysical meaning to that symptom? And that's going to give me some more information based on what's actually going on with that symptom. So remember that change is on its way. Your throat chakra is what you're working on. And that number 5 is reminding you that as you do make changes during this Mercury Cancer season, especially during its retrograde, you are going to find freedom. You're going to have that self-expression. You're definitely going to have fun during this time, because I definitely get a sense that you will be making connections in your foundation at home and reuniting with some friends. Now, if those friends do show up that have not been around for a really long time, it may be just about healing something and then letting them go. So don't get too caught up on thinking they're going to stay forever. Remember, people come into your life for a season, reason, or lifetime that will help to change. All right, so that's our Aries energy. Let's talk about our Taurus. So Taurus is your time to create. This is your time to communicate. This is your time to listen and learn. This is your time to, I'm going to say this one again, listen, pay attention. There is a lot of energy in your sign where you have the North Node, you have Uranus, and of course you got Jupiter helping you to expand on your senses for that matter. So let's see what one card is available for you to help you through this Mercury in Cancer. Your card's in reverse. Now, reverse card means you need to pay attention, but you also want to work on that chakra, which is your crown chakra. It's helping you to tap in to the ability to connect with your senses, to connect with spirit, to have those conversations with spirit, to allow your five senses to become more activated. That 11 energy is about that partnership that you do have and that you're a master healer. The 11 is very much associated with Aquarius, which is about your community as well. So who are you connecting with in your community? And how is that going to help you with higher self? This could be a perfect time for you to schedule time to network, schedule time to go to healing events, schedule time for healing circles for that matter, because it's a great time for you to start connecting with your higher self. Love that for our Taurus. All right, we now have Gemini. So Gemini, now that Mercury has left your sign, I'm sure you're having a sense of at this point in time, but it is about your partnerships, it's about your relationships, it's about everything that you've learned about yourself as Mercury was just recently in your sign, considering it's your ruling sign. And do note that for you, those of you who do have Mercury in Gemini, know that this is extremely important because wherever Mercury sits, because it's your ruling sign, it does enhance your energy as well. So let's see what partnerships, what relationships, what contracts Mercury in Cancer is going to help you with. And let's see what one chakra you need to work on for that to all take place. Your card is also in reverse. And the reverse card, as I've just said, is all about paying attention to the message. We're working on the chakra here, and that's the sacral energy. Sacral is very much associated with our inner child. It's that connection we have with our wound and our mother as well. So what partnership is going on? And is there something going on between you and your mom? Is there something going on with you and another female for that matter? Whatever it is, know that there's a completion. Something's coming to an end. Note that the cards in reverse. There is definitely a transformation taking place. And know that when we think of sacral energy, it holds all the judgment, shame, guilt, and blame. So maybe some of that will be shifting out. That 9 energy is associated in astrology to Sagittarius. It's about higher learning, higher wisdom, and paying attention to your dream state, because you may receive some messages in there that's going to help you complete a cycle, whether it's completing a project, ending a job, or maybe just walking away from a relationship that no longer serves you. Remember, this is about your partnership. So pay attention. Card is in reverse for those Geminis. And happy birthday to the Cancers. So if you happen to have Mercury in Cancer, or your sun is in Cancer, know that those two planets are playing together right now in a conjunction where they're having conversations constantly. They may not be right on the same in the same degree, but there's definitely a lot of energy there. So what does that mean for you, Mercury's in Cancer? For those who have Cancer in Mercury, well, this is a time where lots of new beginnings, lots of new opportunities, doing things in a different way, being the leader, recognizing that doors are just going to swing open, and you're definitely doing things a lot differently than you've done before. So let's see if one chakra you can work on so you can be more aligned with this amazing energy. After all, Mercury in Cancer has literally just started 24 hours ago, and your card is communication. Communication, so perfectly aligned. The way you communicate will be changing. You will be communicating, creating, and collaborating in a new way. There's going to be many new people that's going to show up. That's going to help you do that, because as you are evolving, you are evolving and shifting gears and meeting new people. The pink energy is the high heart. So this is about being compassionate to yourself and showing a little bit of grace and calmness to others as well. Showing grace because we don't really know someone else's story. So rather than expecting what you would do from somebody else, just show grace and compassion. That 12 energy is a portal. Being that you do have Mercury in Cancer, that's a portal for you. It's a way you can communicate and nurture the relationship you have with yourself and with others. That 12 is also very much associated with Pisces energy, which is about allowing you to use your intuition Tap into your psychic abilities, tap into your senses. Take notice that those senses are going to become more pronounced. And there's going to be one sense that's going to be really, really more intensified than ever before. That 12 is associated with our 3 energy, which is very much aligned with communication, creativity, and collaboration, along with that Mercury energy. So that's such a perfect card for Cancers. You are definitely communicating in a very different way, self-expression, verbally speaking, how you listen, how you connect with people. So lots of new friends coming in, lots of new projects coming in, and possibly even a new job coming in. So this is a really positive season for you Cancers. As we move into our Leos, this is your time to tie up those loose ends, let things go, get yourself ready, especially because you do have Mars and Venus sitting in your sign. So that masculine, feminine energy to help you through this process, to be able to communicate better and really allowing yourself to express, to show up, to be expressive. And what is your creative skills? Utilize those creative skills. Become more tuned to those creative skills and be ready to let go of something that's just not serving you anymore. So let's see for you Leos. Leo's card. Interesting that this card is showing up again. Cancers just had it, now Leos have it. Communication. So what is it that you need to say? There's a conversation that you're going to be having during this season that is literally going to help you tie up a loose end. Maybe you're walking away from a job. Maybe you're moving out. Whatever that conversation is, know that it's going to help you move forward. That 12 energy is your portal. It's going to allow you to travel and move forward. Be compassionate to yourself, be understanding to yourself, and also be understanding to others as well. Communication is really big for you right now. There's definitely something you need to say, and you need to say it during this season. I'd recommend saying it way before Mercury starts its retrograde. So you have between now, which is the 27th, right through July, give and take, I'm going to say July 3rd, July 4th, because the retrograde period does start on July 8th. So you really don't want to be doing too much intensive conversations, even though the energy with Mercury in Cancer is a lot calmer. It's a nurturing sign. So really want to have those conversations, whatever it is you need to say, go tie up those loose ends to do just that. As we move into our Virgos, you're going to be more likely to want to get out there and network and socialize and be in your community. Get on the phone and call your girlfriends, get on the phone and call your guy friends, and socialize during this time. With Mercury being in Cancer, you literally want to get that schedule going. But you also want to remember to take time for you as well. So organize your schedule that you are on the front of your schedule. You are a priority, but you're going to want to get together with those friends. You may be invited to a lot of social events during this time, but remember, it's so important to put yourself on your schedule. Get you done first, and then you can do all the stuff afterwards. All right, so let's see what one card you can work on. So you can be aligned with this amazing fun energy of socializing. Here's your card. Compassion. Have compassion for self and have compassion for others. Third eye is about allowing you to see beyond what's in front of you. When we talk about the Cancer energy, Cancer is really associated with our third eye. It gives us that ability to visualize and create those nurturing relationships. So spread a little compassion around as you get out there and socialize with your friends. 4 and 9, that 4 energy is about Cancer. It's your foundation. It's your home. Be very compassionate to your home, your body. Be kind to yourself. Make sure you are scheduling time to be connected to your body. So that's that 4 energy. That 9 is letting go of anything that doesn't serve your body, your mind, your spirit, and your emotions. Compassion for Virgos. Love that. As we move into our Libras. So Libras, this is definitely a time for your soul's work. Really getting into it, really discovering what that work is. Is the work that you do, is your job, your soul's work, is What is your soul's work? What are you here to do? What do you want to be recognized for? What do you want to be receive achievements for? Where is your success? That's what this Mercury Cancer energy is about. It's helping you to really fine tune your soul's calling, bringing more balance into your soul's calling. Perhaps you're unsure. Perhaps your soul's calling is looking a little differently than it's ever looked before, and you're sort of confused. So, what is it you want to bring into create? What is it that you want to set that intention on? Using this energy to do just that, bringing those contracts into more balance. And you can definitely connect with spirit to help you bring those contracts into alignment so you can be more secure about your soul's calling. So here's your card. So perfectly said. Higher education, which is higher wisdom, which is about connecting with spirit. This is about your higher consciousness. This is about who you are here to become. This is about the soul's work that you are actually here to do. We are all here to do soul's work, but for you Libras right now, this Mercury Cancer energy is bringing you home so you can really tap into your higher wisdom. Be compassionate, be kind, be patient, and bring joy into this conversation. Your 3 and 6, that is about the healing, that's about communicating, but it's also about your transformation as you tap into your higher wisdom during this season. So, higher wisdom is the key here as you utilize your soul's calling. Unwrapping the contract, bringing more harmony into your mind, body, and spirit at this time. Love that for our Libras. And Scorpios, you may find yourself wanting to travel. Whether you're traveling where you're packing a bag and literally getting on a plane to go somewhere, or you're finding that you're traveling a lot during your sleep state, where you're gaining some information. The traveling is really about allowing yourself to connect and get those messages from spirit. This is about higher wisdom. This is about a desire to want to take a class, want to learn something, to become more deeply connected to who you are on a soul's level, doing the work that you came here to do. And when we think about the Scorpio's energy with Pluto in Capricorn, which is the opposition of Cancer, this is definitely helping you to let go and transform, declutter the closet, shall we say, to allow yourself to be in that space of what can you learn about yourself and how are you learning from a higher consciousness perspective versus who you are right now. See yourself in a different light, see yourself in a different frequency, and start really gathering the wisdom and knowledge that you're going to be receiving during the season. So let's see that one chakra you can work on so you can be more aligned to this wisdom that's showing up for you. I want to shake up these cards really good. So your card is engaged. So what are you engaged in? What are you engaged in? And it could very well be that this could be a perfect time during Mercury Cancer season to get engaged. Maybe it's been something you've been thinking about, that it's time to take your relationship to the next level. So there might be some of you out there getting engaged during this Mercury Cancer energy. There's definitely a conversation, a proposal happening. You may be also engaged in a conversation with a boss, a new boss for that matter, but there's definitely something you are engaged in and lots of communication taking place. You may very well have to go traveling. There may be a new position that's coming in that you're traveling to. That 2-7 is reminding of your partnerships. It's reminding you of your contracts. It's also reminding you of a transformation coming on board. Something you're letting go of something and something new is coming in. So you're engaged in something. So I'm quite interested to know for you Scorpios, what's that going to be? Are you getting engaged where there's going to be a ring on your finger? Are you engaging in a new job? Are you engaging in traveling to a new city? What are you engaged in? What conversations are you going to be having during Mercury Cancer's energy? Love that. All right, we move into our Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, this energy is about working on letting things go. So you're in that middle place. You're working on things going away, and then you're getting ready to transform, doing the work. Mercury and Cancer could be the time for you to have those conversations, connecting with the people so you can heal your relationships. Heal your relationships and looking at things from a higher consciousness. coming away from your ego. When we often find ourselves being upset with someone, usually it's because we're either feeling like that person's done us wrong, which we are being led by our ego. And we have to come into that place of understanding, how can I let go of my ego and be in that higher consciousness, higher learning, higher wisdom, to be able to transform and really get into that place of just being the light for someone. And that's the energy I'm hearing for you, Sagittarius, is being the light for someone. Because we all have fears, we all have doubts, we all have insecurities. And when there's things going on in our lives and we never know what's going on in someone's life that could be causing them to feel a little uneasy about something, or not feeling heard, or not being seen, or not feeling appreciated, or not feeling as though they're receiving. This is a time for you, Sagittarius, to really work on your higher consciousness and how you can transform and show light for somebody else. Hold light for somebody else, for that matter. All right, your card, interesting enough, had to put one down. Compassion. So yes, your light is going to shine out compassion to the world right now. That 4 is about your foundation. It's about what you want to build in your foundation. After all, you're in that process of like letting things go, clearing it all out. When we think about Neptune's energy, which is very much associated with our Sagittarius, this is a perfect time. Yeah, because Neptune is the 9th house energy. This is the perfect time to really tap into your higher wisdom and explore compassion. Compassion for your body, compassion for your home, compassion for your work. See compassion from your third eye everywhere and anywhere, and be that light, because you just never know who you're hanging out with, who needs a little bit more of compassion, understanding, and even patience for that matter. Love that for our Sagittarius. Capricorns, here we go for you, Capricorns. This is about taking time to quiet down. There's a lot of energy in your field right now with Pluto's retrograde in your sign. This is definitely time to quiet down, review your contracts. And because Mercury is in Cancer, in your opposite sign, you may have that need to push and pull. Now, as I always say, if there's somebody there with you that you're actually in an agreement where one of you is going to do the pulling, and while one of you is doing the pulling, the other one's pushing, it makes that pulling a little easier. But if you're doing it at the same time, that's going to create a little bit of uneasiness. And in this energy, you want that harmony to come into play. You want harmony, you want balance, you want everything to be in ease and peace and calmness during the season. So what can you do for that to happen, to have more ease, peace, and calmness? Let's see what one chakra you can work on to bring that in during the season. Your card is to be patient with yourself. Patient. Patience, patient, patient. This is the matter of the heart. So this is about those contracts, those relationships. Know that Pluto in Capricorn is helping you to destroy what no longer serves you, clearing things out from your soul's purpose. But it's about your foundation. It's about your home, your body, your shelter, and your work. But patience is required here, especially when you're working on those contracts and you want to bring more harmony into your energy. Be patient. Practice patience. Love that for our Capricorns. And so perfectly aligned for them too, considering Pluto's retrograde in Capricorn, Mercury's energy in Cancer, and a little less than, a week and a half from now, Mercury will also be in retrograde in Cancer. That's going to have that push-pull together. So be patient. As we move into our Aquarius, it's time for healing. Like I said earlier, as that example, if you have Mercury in Aquarius like I do, this is definitely a time for healing. This is a time to sit quietly and write those forgiveness letters. Sit down and pretend that person's right in front of you and say whatever it is you need to say to them so you can forgive them and they can forgive you. And you can sort of bring peace back into your own energy field. Remember that not everybody's going to be ready to hear what it is you have to say. So it's not necessarily about physically sitting in front of the person and telling them you're sorry, but it is definitely about allowing yourself to be in that space of saying sorry energetically. So the energy heals at this perfect time. It's also about scheduling time for you. Make sure you are doing something for you. Make sure you are nurturing your body with fueling and feeding, hydration, meditation, working out. You know, I'm an advocate of strength training. So you ladies out there, you got to be strength training. You need to keep your bones strong, your metabolism activated, and you just overall strength training is like it's a drug. It helps you to enhance your endorphins so you can feel good. So make sure you're on your schedule. It's so important. And as Aquarius is that you are, this is a perfect time to start visualizing yourself in the healthiest body possible. So what does that look like? What actions do you need to take so you can be the healthiest version of you? Here's your card. A new relationship. And that's so perfectly aligned because as you start focusing on that new version of you, you're going to have a new relationship with yourself, which then stems out to new relationships with others. So be open to Mercury, Cancer's energy, helping you to activate some new relationships, new people coming in, whether that's personal or professional. Either way, it's going to work for you. That 2-8 works out to be your 10 energy, which is very much aligned with your soul's calling. So those new relationships could be those new contracts you're going to have with new clientele, new partnerships, etc., etc. Very important to get grounded during this energy because when new people come in, you're going to be in new people's energies. So grounding, balance, and being able to focus on the expansion, the abundance that these new relationships are going to bring into your life. So pay attention. That 10 is reminding you there's a new beginning. The 0 is reminding you that you always have choices. So welcome your new relationships in. Be open to all those relationships coming in, whether they're personal or professional relationships. But that's for you, Aquarius. I love that. Ground your energy. Get outside into nature. Whatever it is you can do to ground yourself so you can be completely focused and balanced, be more productive as well. All right, as we move into our Pisces, and you know by now, I'm hoping you caught my last forecast where we have both Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. Saturn has just gone retrograde, and at the end of this month, on June 30th, Neptune will be going retrograde as well. So there's lots of things taking place for you, Pisces, where your structure is changing, your higher consciousness is changing, and now with Mercury in Cancer, which is a water sign, and there's a lot of water energy going on. So there's a lot of emotions flowing in the air, and sometimes that can create a lot of unflow, imbalance, disruption. But this is definitely time for change for you, Pisces, with everything that's taking place. I mentioned this the other day, where again we have Neptune and Saturn in Pisces. We have Pluto, which is the ruler of Scorpio, which is also another water sign. We have Mercury that's in Cancer. So what is that? What is that? And the sun in Cancer. We have 5 planets sitting in water energy right now. So for you Pisces who are very intuitive, this is a very, very important time for you. Lots of changes coming in for you. So pay attention to those changes. Pay attention to where you're going to get freedom. Pay attention to what is falling off. Pay attention to how you are becoming more attuned. Your senses are becoming more heightened. You're very, very, very sensitive right now. So it's so important to pay attention to what's around you. When we think about that 5 energy, it is about fun. It's about venture. It's about your creativity. It's about self-expression. It's about freedom. It's about the unpredictability and courageousness so you can change. You have to be willing to do something different so you can change. Because at the end of these retrogrades, you are going to be a totally different version of yourself. All right. Let's see what one chakra you can work on during the season so you can see yourself as this different version and really start moving into that different energy because there's lots of changes coming in. Your entire foundation is going to shift. Your structure is definitely on its way to being different. So let's see that one card. Perfect card for you guys. Rebirth. And that's exactly what's happening. You're going to experience a rebirth. You're going to have this reset, restructure, whole new version of who you are. You're going to see yourself very differently. That 21 is that relationship that you do have with others, the partnerships, the new way you see yourself. It's how you're going to be speaking differently. You're going to be teaching differently. You're going to be listening differently. You're going to collaborate differently. So this is definitely a rebirth for you. That high heart energy is about recognizing all the joy that is about to come in through the changes you are making. I love that for Pisces. So if you do have Mercury in Pisces, know that this is definitely going to be your rebirth. Now, also do note that again, as I've gone through all the signs where Mercury is based on your chart, now take a peek at your sun sign as well. And you can utilize that energy as well in this card reading. Now, I did say early on that you can focus on that one card that's more associated with the Mercury's energy in Cancer, but you can always expand it out and go beyond yourself. Give me 1 second. All right, didn't want to have a cough attack while I was live with you guys, while I was on recording. So there you have it, all 12 zodiac signs as we are in this amazing Mercury in Cancer season. Know that by July 8th, Mercury will be in retrograde in Cancer. And as of right now, we do have 5 planets. We do have 5 planets that are surfacing in water energy. And again, those planets are Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio. We have Saturn, we have Neptune, we have the Sun, and we also have Mercury. All 3 of the water elements are being highlighted right now. Therefore, you might find yourself being a little bit more emotional than usual. And it's so important during this time to make sure you're hydrating yourself, because when we have this many planets sitting in water energy, it's very easy for our bodies to retain water. So you must make sure you're drinking enough water, because you don't want to be bloated, especially for those of you who do have Jupiter in Taurus energy, because Jupiter is the planet of expansion, and it expands your weight as well. With all these planets in water, that's very likely to happen. So you want to make sure you're releasing the weight, not holding the weight. For those of you who are new to me, very quickly, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast deck. My deck can be found on Amazon should you want to purchase it to activate your intuition, because that's one of the best ways to really start activating your own intuition is by playing with a deck of cards. And with all this energy we do have going on right now, this is a perfect time for your senses to start to be activated. I look forward to connecting with you on the next forecast. But for now, wherever you are in the world, enjoy Mercury in Cancer. Until next time, bye-bye for now.